What's up, everyone? It's Sindra here. My last video about moving to Norway blew up, and I was floored by your response. I heard from people all over the world, all dreaming of a new life under the northern lights. Norway's beauty and quality of life inspire so many, but I realized I need to share the real challenges too. This is your 2025 survival guide. Let's talk about what it really takes to thrive here. The last video was a celebration of Norway, and for good reason. I showed you the fjords that look like they've been carved by giants, the cozy cafes in Oslo, the midnight sun, and the incredible sense of safety and community. And every single bit of that is true. But a dream is just one side of the coin. The flip side is the reality of making it happen, and that part is often less glamorous. For every success story you see online, there are countless untold stories of people who came here with a heart full of hope but an empty plan, and they struggled. They struggled immensely. I've met them. I've seen the posts in expat forums from people who are running out of money, who can't find a job because they don't speak the language, or who feel incredibly isolated because they haven't cracked the social code yet. These are the stories that don't get a million views. They are the quiet, heartbreaking realities that happen in the shadows of the beautiful dream I presented. And leaving that part of the story untold felt like I was only giving you half the map. A map that shows you the destination, but not the treacherous mountains or the deep rivers you have to cross to get there. It's crucial to understand that moving to Norway isn't like moving to another city in your own country. It's a complex, bureaucratic, financial, and emotional undertaking. The system here is efficient, but it is also rigid and unforgiving if you don't follow the rules precisely. There's a process for everything, from getting a bank account to registering with the police, and a misstep in one area can cause a domino effect of problems that can take months to fix. It's not a place where you can just show up and figure it out. That approach, which might work in other parts of the world, can lead to serious trouble here. My intention with this new guide is to bridge that gap between the dream and the reality. I want to give you the full map this time, not just the scenic routes, but the warnings, the detours, and the essential checkpoints you absolutely must pass through. This isn't about discouraging you. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about empowering you. Because the people who succeed here aren't just the ones who dream the hardest. They are the ones who prepare the smartest. They understand the challenges, and they plan for them. So let's start by talking about the very first and perhaps most common mistake people make. The paradox of planning a move to Norway is that the excitement of the adventure often overshadows the necessity of tedious, detailed preparation. You're so focused on imagining yourself hiking in Lofoten that you forget to calculate the cost of a deposit on an apartment in a city you've never even visited. This emotional rush is powerful, and I get it. It's what fuels the desire for change and a new life. But pure emotion is a terrible navigator. Without a logical, step-by-step plan, that emotional high can quickly turn into a crash of anxiety and stress when you land, and reality hits you like the cold Norwegian wind. The comments on my last video revealed this pattern clearly. So many people ask questions like, can I just come on a tourist visa and find a job? Or, how much money do I need for the first month? These questions tell me that the fundamental groundwork is missing. People are jumping to step 10 before they've even figured out step 1. They are thinking about the destination without building the vehicle to get there. A successful move to Norway is built not on a leap of faith, but on a series of well-calculated, well-researched, and well-executed steps. It's a project, and it needs to be managed like one. Think of it this way. You wouldn't try to climb Galdhøpiggen, Norway's highest peak, in flip-flops and a t-shirt. You would research the trail, check the weather, pack the right gear, bring enough food and water, and probably go with a guide if you were inexperienced. Moving to Norway is your personal Galdhøpiggen. It requires the same level of respect and preparation. You need to research the trail, the visa process. You need to check the weather, the job market. You need the right gear, your finances, your documents, and your language skills. Showing up unprepared is not brave, it's just reckless. So the reason I'm making this video again is to be that guide for you, to help you pack your metaphorical backpack for this incredible journey. I want to shift your mindset from I'll figure it out when I get there to I will be so prepared that figuring it out will be the easy part. We're going to break down the most common mistakes, starting with the biggest one of all, rushing the process and arriving here without a solid foundation. This is where dreams meet reality. So let's make sure your dream is built on rock, not sand. The biggest mistake? Believing that just arriving in Norway means everything will fall into place. This is the arrival fallacy. The reality is, without a job or plan, you'll face a tough bureaucratic loop. Housing, Idaho, bank account, each needs the other. Arriving on a tourist visa hoping to find work. That's a fast track to rejection and disappointment. Avoid the fallacy, plan ahead, secure a job, and come prepared. Moving to Norway without a plan? Your savings can vanish fast. Deposits, rent, groceries, and transport add up quickly, leaving you stressed and desperate. Rushing forces bad choices, like taking any job just to survive. A solid plan and a realistic financial buffer give you breathing room, so you can build the life you dreamed of, not just scrape by. The sticker shock in Norway is real. Everything costs more: rent, groceries, even a simple block of cheese. Imagine doubling your budget, or even tripling it for some things. Housing will floor you, and deposits can be 3 months' rent. You'll learn to shop smart, cook at home, and treat eating out as a rare luxury. Even public transport and taxes add up fast. Arrive unprepared, and you'll always feel one step behind your own bank account. The weather tax in Norway is real. You'll need to invest in quality winter gear, coats, boots, gloves, just to survive. Heating bills spike and social life moves indoors, making everything costlier. Even a simple coffee or beer is expensive. Plan ahead, budget carefully, and bring more savings than you think you'll need. Norway is amazing, but it will test your finances from day one. Everyone says, Norwegians speak perfect English, I'll be fine. And yes, you can survive here on English alone. But thriving is different. Relying only on English creates an invisible wall, limiting your experiences, relationships, and career. Most jobs require Norwegian. Without it, you're competing for a tiny slice of the job market. Learning Norwegian is the best investment for your future in Norway. Don't underestimate its power. The language barrier shapes your daily life in Norway, making you feel like a tourist instead of belonging. At gatherings, conversations slip into Norwegian, leaving you isolated, unable to connect deeply. Learning Norwegian is your key to unlocking friendships and a richer, more authentic life here. Start early. It's the most rewarding step you can take. Norwegian social life is quiet, reserved, and private. It's not unfriendly, just different. Respect for personal space is key. Small talk with strangers is rare. Friendships form slowly through shared activities like joining a club or hiking group. Observe, adapt, and be patient. That's how you build real connections in Norway. To truly understand the Norwegian mindset, you have to learn about Janteloven, or the Law of Jante. This isn't an actual law, but rather a powerful, unwritten social code that emphasizes humility and collective success over individual achievement. The core idea is, you're not to think you are anyone special. It promotes a flat, egalitarian society where boasting, showing off wealth, or acting like you're better than others is strongly frowned upon. While its influence is fading with younger generations, its roots are still deeply embedded in the culture and can explain a lot about social interactions in Norway. This can be a difficult concept for people coming from more individualistic cultures, like the United States, where self-promotion is often encouraged and seen as a sign of confidence. In Norway, talking excessively about your own accomplishments, your high salary, or your fancy new car can be seen as arrogant and distasteful. Humility is a cherished virtue. People prefer to let their actions speak for themselves. This is why Norwegians might seem reserved about their successes. It's not that they aren't proud, they just express it in a much more subtle and understated way. Understanding this is key to not misinterpreting social signals. Janteloven also influences the workplace. The organizational structure is often very flat. You might call your boss by their first name. An open disagreement or debate in meetings is common. However, the emphasis is always on the team's success, not one individual's brilliant idea. Taking all the credit for a group project is a huge mistake. You should always use we instead of I when discussing achievements. This collaborative spirit is a huge strength of the Norwegian work culture, but it requires you to set your ego aside and focus on being a team player. The nail that sticks up gets hammered down, as the saying goes, so how do you navigate this? It's about finding a balance. Be proud of your skills and what you bring to the table, but present them with humility. Focus on collaboration and give credit to others. In your social life, avoid bragging and instead show interest in others' lives and experiences. Appreciate the egalitarian nature of the society, where everyone is seen as fundamentally equal. It's a beautiful concept, but it requires a mental shift. By understanding and respecting the principles of Jante, you'll not only avoid cultural missteps, but also gain a deeper appreciation for the unique social fabric that makes Norway what it is. The Norwegian visa is your key to a new life, but the locks have changed. For 2025, UDI has made the process smarter, not easier. You need to know your visa category, skilled worker, family or student, each with strict rules. For most, a job offer is your golden ticket. No shortcuts. No, just show up and find work. Processing times are estimates, not promises. Be ready for delays and double-check every document. Precision is everything. One mistake, and your dream could collapse. The unspoken rules of the visa game? It's about showing your value, especially if you're in tech, healthcare, or green energy. Keep ties to your home country. It shows stability. After applying, be patient. Don't flood the system with emails. If you're rejected, use the feedback as a roadmap. Many succeed after setbacks. The real secret? Resilience. So when is it really the right time to move? It's not a date. It's when you've checked off the essentials. First, have a signed permanent job contract. Second, a solid emergency fund, at least 6 months of living expenses. Third, start learning Norwegian basics. And finally, replace daydreams with a practical, well-researched plan. That's your green light. Once you have those green lights, it's time to start building your bridge to Norway, piece by piece, long before you ever step on a plane. The first step is professional networking. Don't wait until you move to connect with people in your industry. Use platforms like LinkedIn. Find Norwegians or expats in your field and reach out. Don't just ask for a job. Ask for information, ask for their story, ask what skills are in demand. Build genuine relationships. These connections are invaluable. They can provide insights, mentorship, and might even lead to that all-important job offer. This is you laying the professional groundwork for your future career. The next step is deep cultural research. Go beyond the surface-level facts about Vikings and brown cheese. Read books by Norwegian authors. Watch Norwegian films and TV series with subtitles. Follow Norwegian news outlets to understand the current political and social climate. Learn about concepts like janteloven and kozelig, not as dictionary definitions, but as lived realities. The more you understand the cultural nuances, the quiet social circles, the importance of nature, the flat social hierarchy, the smoother your transition will be. You'll avoid common social faux pas and find it easier to connect with people on their terms. Then you need a logistical timeline. This isn't just a vague goal, it's a project plan for your life. Work backward from your ideal moving date. When do you need to have your visa application submitted? Therefore, when do you need to have your job offer? When do you need to have your documents translated and notarized? When should you start selling your things or ending your lease in your home country? Breaking down this massive, overwhelming process into small, manageable monthly or weekly tasks makes it achievable. It turns moving to Norway from a terrifying jump into a series of confident steps. Finally, set realistic expectations for your first year. Your first year in Norway will not be a highlight reel. It will be a year of adjustment, learning, and immense personal growth. You will likely feel more like a student than a master of your own destiny. Expect to be challenged. Expect to make mistakes. Expect moments of doubt. But also expect to be amazed by the stunning nature, to appreciate the safety and efficiency, and to slowly but surely build a new life you can be proud of. The right time to move is when you are prepared not for a perfect life, but for a real one. Ready to make your Norwegian dream a reality? Here's your essential toolkit. Start with the UDI website for visas and permits. Always check for the latest info. For housing, fin.no is your go-to for rentals and more. Polish your LinkedIn for Norwegian standards and connect with recruiters. And for language, start with Duolingo, but try italki or university courses for real progress. Beyond official websites, people are your most priceless resource. Start building your community before you arrive. Join expat groups online, ask questions, and connect with locals. Network on LinkedIn, reach out for virtual coffee chats, and don't underestimate volunteering. It's a great way to meet people and practice Norwegian. Create a checklist and break your move into small steps. This support network will make your transition to Norway much smoother. Moving to Norway is a big adventure, but you don't have to do it alone. Join our community of dreamers and planners. Ask questions, share stories, and support each other. Subscribe for more guides, like if this helped, and share with anyone dreaming of Norway. Let's thrive together in this beautiful country. Now that you have the updated 2025 survival guide, you might be wondering about the foundations that led to this video. As I mentioned at the very beginning, this is a follow-up to a video I made that got a massive amount of attention. That first video laid the groundwork for why so many people are drawn to Norway, but it also sparked a lot of the questions that I've answered in much more detail today. It's the perfect companion piece to what you've just watched, offering a different but equally important perspective on the move. It's the why that complements the how we've discussed today. If you haven't seen my first video about moving to Norway, I'm going to link it right here on the screen and in the description below. I highly recommend you watch that next. It covers my initial thoughts and experiences and provides the context for why I felt it was so important to create this more in-depth guide. Watching it will give you a complete, well-rounded view of the entire process, from the initial dream to the day-to-day reality. It's like getting both halves of the map, ensuring you have the full picture before you set off on your expedition. So please, make that your next stop. In that video, I touch on some of the emotional aspects of the move and the initial culture shocks that many people face. It's a bit more of a personal story, whereas this video has been a tactical, strategic guide. By combining the two, you get both the heart and the head of the matter. You'll understand the emotional roller coaster you might be in for, as well as have the practical checklist to keep you grounded. It's essential viewing, and I believe watching it will solidify your understanding and make your preparation even more robust. It's all part of the comprehensive resource library I want to build for you. So, your homework is simple. Subscribe, like, share, and then click on that link to watch the first video. Absorb all the information, let it sink in, and then start building your personal action plan using the resources we talked about today. This is not just about passively consuming content. It's about actively engaging with it to build the future you want. I'm here to guide you every step of the way, but the journey is yours to take. I'm excited to see where it leads you, and I'll be here waiting to hear your success stories. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this deep dive. I know it was a lot of information, but moving to a new country is a massive decision, and I want you to be as prepared as humanly possible. Norway is an incredible country with breathtaking nature, a high quality of life, and amazing opportunities, but only for those who come prepared. My goal today was to give you the unvarnished truth, the real-world advice that goes beyond the glossy travel pictures. I hope you feel empowered, not discouraged, and that you now have a clear path forward. This is Sindre Leonard, signing off. Remember to use the resources we discussed, start learning the language now, and build your plan piece by piece. The dream is absolutely achievable with the right strategy. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and check out that first video if you haven't already. I love hearing from you all, so please leave a comment below and tell me what stage you're at in your journey, or what other topics you'd like me to cover. Your feedback is what shapes this channel and helps me create content that truly helps you. This is a community, and I'm so glad you're a part of it. Keep chasing that dream, but do it smartly. Do your research, save your money, and be patient with the process and with yourself. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and today you've taken a huge one just by educating yourself. I'm incredibly excited for what the future holds for you. I look forward to reading your comments and continuing this conversation with all of you. For now, ha det bra. Goodbye for now. And I truly hope to see you here in Norway one day, thriving and living your best life. Take care and bye snackers. We'll talk soon.